This is a 35mm film camera from the late 80s and early 90s. It's simple and made up everyday snapshots before digital cameras took over. Today, I'll be showing you how it works and if it's still usable today. Let's dive in. So right off the bat, we can see that this is almost pure plastic, um, and it's light and compact. It does say on here that it is focus free, which basically means that it doesn't have any focus, so you don't need to be adjusting any of those settings. And we can see there's a wheel, which means that you have to manually um, turn this to advance to your second film. We can also see a flash right here, so we can take pictures in the dark. And we also got a shutter button right here. Unlike cameras today, we can see that this camera is all about simplicity. There's no menus, no settings, just load the film, point, and press the shutter. And that's how cameras mostly worked in the 80s and 90s. Alright, now let's talk about the film. You would need these things that are about $20 each, and this is called film. This one is Fuji film, and you basically slide it into the camera. Let me show you. Alright, so now as we can see, that there's a compartment here, which is how you reach your film. You don't want to be touching this with your fingers too much, or you could mess up with the film and your photos will be all messed up. So here's the roll of film that you would have in your package of Fuji film in my case. And as you can see, it's 35mm. You just place this in and turn this little wheel. So as you can see, if we're wondering how it works, we can actually see that there's the wheel. So when you take a picture, you turn this wheel and it's basically opening new space for the film. But first, before we can try that out, we have to turn it on. See, we have this little on switch, which it's going to load in, and this has to change colors to be able to warm up the flash. That's for flash. So now, if we try to see, now it is all heated up, so the flash is ready. So if we try taking a picture, there we go. You got yourself a picture on the film. Now we can turn this wheel, and now we've taken our first picture. It is saved onto the film, and as you can see now, we've turned the film. You can't really tell very well, but we have turned the film. All right, now let's talk about what makes this camera unique. Well, what's cool is this thing is pretty durable, which means it's pretty good for beginners. You got this little strap here, so then you can take it around, pretty portable, like most cameras. And the flash makes indoor use possible. And just a ton of cool things about this camera that are just good for beginners. You know, it's got this nice, so you can hold it really easily. And you also have this little spot so you can see your pictures very nicely, even though it's not digital. Now for the big question you've all been waiting for. Can you still use this in 2025? The quick answer is yes, you still can. You can go ahead and buy like 35mm film for your camera, and you just get it developed at most drugstores and online labs, and you can use it as a retro hobby or experiment. Um, Film isn't cheap these days, but there are definitely growing communities around it. And cameras like this are affordable ways to get started. Cameras aren't fancy, but they're reliable. If you want to try film without diving into expensive gear, these cameras are for you, even 30 years later. If you like electronics and breakdowns like this, I would definitely consider liking and subscribing because I got a lot more coming soon, so don't forget to like and subscribe because, yeah, we're doing old stuff, new stuff, and maybe even some Switch 2 madness. So see you in the next video. ElectroStop TV.